In Ogwashi Market, there was one fish seller every trader feared. Her name was Nneka. They called her the wicked fish seller. Not because she cheated customers. Not because her fish was bad. But because something about her made people uncomfortable. Her eyes were cold. Her mouth never smiled. Her voice cut sharper than the knives she used to gut fish. And the strangest part was this: anyone who worked for her never lasted more than 2 weeks. They always ran away. Some said she cursed them. Some said she beat them in secret. Some said she practiced dark things at night. No one knew the truth. But everyone agreed on one thing. Stay away from Nneka. If you value your life, never work for her. Before we continue this shocking story, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell to stay updated with more incredible African stories. 15 girls in 2 years. That's how many helpers Nneka had lost. The last one, a young woman named Nneka, ran from the market screaming. She wouldn't say what happened. She just packed her things and left the village that same night. Forever. The traders whispered her name like a curse. That woman carries something heavy, an elder said one morning, making the sign of protection. Something dark lives inside her. Nneka sat at her stall every day. Alone. Her scarred face never changed expression. A long pink line ran from her left ear down to her jaw. Nobody knew how she got it. Nobody dared to ask. Her fish always sold. But customers bought quickly and left faster. They didn't chat. They didn't bargain too hard. They just wanted to get away from those cold, watching eyes. But there was one woman in Ogwashi village who could not afford to be afraid. Her name was Adogo. And she was about to walk straight into Nneka's world. 8 months ago, Adogo had a husband, a home, and hope. Now she had nothing but a 3-year-old son and 300 naira. 300. Not even enough for a week's food. Her husband Ikena had died on the Onitsha Expressway. A truck accident. One moment he was alive, promising to bring palm oil from the city. "I'll be back before dark," he'd said, kissing little Samtechuku's forehead. The next moment, neighbors were wailing at her door. She buried him with borrowed money. Then the real nightmare began. His family came like vultures. His mother arrived first, her face twisted with hate. "You," she spat. "You only gave my son one child. One. Your womb is cursed." They took everything. The small land Ikena had bought, gone. His motorcycle, gone. Even the cooking pots Adogo's own mother had given her as wedding gifts, gone. They said a woman who couldn't give their son more children didn't deserve his property. "Please," Adogo had begged, holding Somto. "At least leave something for your grandson." The mother-in-law laughed. A cruel, bitter sound. That boy will grow up knowing his mother's womb failed his father. For months, Adogo survived on charity. Her neighbor, Mama Chizim, shared food when she could. But charity has limits. And pride has a breaking point. She tried everything. Begged at fabric stores, "We don't need help." Offered to wash plates at food canteens, "Times are hard." Applied to carry loads for traders, "Maybe next month." Rejection. 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 One evening, while walking home with Somto sleeping on her back, she overheard 2 women talking. "Nneka is looking for another helper." "Another victim, you mean? Who would be foolish enough?" Adogo stopped. Her heart pounded. "How much does she pay?" The words escaped before she could stop them. The women turned, shocked. "My sister, are you deaf? That woman is wicked." "How much?" Adogo asked again. "More than any seller in this market." "But what good is money if you lose your soul?" That night, Adogo counted her coins again. 300 naira. She looked at sleeping Somto. His tiny chest rising and falling. Forgive me, my son. But I have no choice. The next morning, before the sun fully rose, Adogo stood in front of Mama Nneka's fish stall. The smell of salt and river water filled the air. Ice blocks glistened in the darkness. Everything about the stall screamed success. Big baskets. Fresh fish. Prime location. But the woman sitting behind the table made Adogo's legs shake. Good morning, Ma. Silence. Mama Nneka didn't look up. Her hands continued arranging fish. Slowly. Precisely. As if Adogo was invisible. I heard you are looking for a helper. Silence. I am hardworking. I learn fast. I don't mind waking early or staying late. Still nothing. Adogo's throat went dry. Maybe she should leave. Maybe this was a mistake. But then, you have a child. Adogo jumped. How did you know? Finally, Mama Nneka looked up. Those dark eyes examined her from head to toe. No warmth. No sympathy. Just cold assessment. I know everything. Her voice was flat. Dead. Your husband died. Truck accident. His family took your property. Said your womb was cursed. You've been begging everywhere. Nobody wants you. And now you come to me because you're desperate. Adogo's chest tightened. How could this woman know all that? Yes, Ma, she whispered. Everything you said is true. You will start tomorrow. Be here before the fishermen arrive. For a clerk. If you are late even once, I will send you away. If you steal from me, I will destroy you. If you gossip about me to anyone, I will know. And you will regret it. Yes, Ma. Thank you, Ma. Don't thank me yet. Mama Nneka returned to her fish. Many have stood where you are standing. None of them lasted. What makes you think you will be different? Adogo had no answer. But she knew one thing. She couldn't fail. Somto was depending on her. The first week nearly broke Adogo. Not her body, her spirit. You're too slow. Your hands are clumsy. A child could do better than this. Are you stupid or just lazy? Every mistake brought harsh words that cut deeper than any knife. Mama Nneka taught her to check fish gills for freshness, to examine eyes for clarity, to smell for rot. She showed her how to scale without wasting flesh, how to gut quickly and cleanly, how to pack ice so it lasted longer. But every lesson came wrapped in criticism. Some nights, Adogo went home with aching muscles and burning eyes. Somto would crawl into her lap. Mama, why are you sad? She would hold him tightly and say nothing. But she didn't quit. Because despite the harshness, Mama Nneka paid her. Every 3 days. Without fail. More money than Adogo had seen in months. Enough to buy food, pay rent, even save a little. And slowly, Adogo noticed something strange. Mama Nneka was harsh with words, yes. But she never raised her hand. She never cheated on payment. And when customers tried to mistreat Adogo, like that Tuesday when a rude trader grabbed Adogo's wrist roughly, demanding a discount, Mama Nneka stood up slowly, got a knife in hand. Touch her again, she said quietly, and I will cut something you cannot grow back. The man's face went white. He dropped Adogo's wrist and ran. Actually ran. Adogo stared at Mama Nneka, confused. The woman who insulted her daily had just protected her like a mother would. That night, washing fish scales from her hands, Adogo wondered. Maybe the rumors were wrong. Maybe Mama Nneka was just a difficult woman, not a wicked one. But then she met ego. And everything she believed was about to be shattered. Ego was everything Mama Nneka was not. Warm. Smiling. Beautiful. Her laughter could be heard from 3 stalls away. She sold smoked fish on the other side of the market, and everyone loved her. Women called her Sister Eagle. Men called her Fine Woman. Children called her Auntie Sweet because she always had groundnuts in her pocket. She approached Adogo during the 2nd week, her smile bright as morning sun. "My dear. I have been watching you," Eagle said, touching Adogo's shoulder gently. "You are working for Mama Nneka, ABI?" Adogo nodded cautiously. Eagle's face became serious. She looked left, then right, then leaned closer. "My sister, I must warn you. That woman is dangerous. She has driven away every girl who worked for her. Some of them." She paused, shaking her head. "Some of them are still suffering till today. But she hasn't done anything bad to me," Adogo said quietly. Eagle laughed softly. A musical sound. "That is how it starts. She waits. She watches. She makes you trust her. Then she strikes. Please, be careful. If anything happens to you, come to me immediately. I will protect you." Over the following weeks, Eagle became her friend. Her only friend. She brought Adogo fried rice during breaks. She played with Somto and called him adorable. "This boy is so handsome. He will break hearts one day." She told funny stories about her own struggles that made Adogo laugh for the first time in months. "You need rest," Eagle said one afternoon, watching Adogo yawn. "Let me watch Somto sometimes. You're killing yourself with work." She even gave Somto groundnuts every day. The boy loved them. "Auntie Sweet," he would shout whenever he saw her. Meanwhile, Mama Nneka said nothing about Eagle. But whenever Eagle came near the store, Mama Nneka's jaw would tighten. Her eyes would follow Eagle with something cold and watchful. Adogo thought it was jealousy. The cold woman was jealous of the warm one. She was wrong. Dead wrong. 1 month after Adogo started walking, Somto fell sick. It began with a small fever on Monday morning. By Tuesday, he was vomiting. By Wednesday, his little body went limp and his eyes rolled back. "Somto! Somto!" Adogo screamed, shaking him. Nothing. His body was burning but he wouldn't wake up. She ran through the market with her son in her arms, screaming for help. Women dropped their goods. Men stopped haggling. Everyone stared as Adogo ran past, tears streaming down her face. "Help me. Please. My son is dying." Mama Chisholm appeared from nowhere, took one look, and grabbed Adogo's arm. "The clinic. Now." The doctor worked for 3 hours. 3 long, terrible hours. When he finally came out, his face was grim. "Your son was poisoned," he said. Adogo's legs gave out. She collapsed against the wall. "What? Poisoned? How?" "I don't know what kind. It's not common. But someone fed him something. Something meant to kill slowly." For 3 days, Somto lay between life and death. His tiny chest barely moving. His beautiful eyes closed. Adogo refused to leave his side. She stopped eating. Stopped sleeping. Just sat there, holding his small hand, praying every prayer she knew. And in the market, the whisper started like wildfire. "It's Mama Nneka's doing. That woman finally showed her true colors. The wickedness has touched the child. I told Adogo not to work there." When Eagle came to visit the clinic, she was crying before she even entered. She held Adogo's hands tightly, her own hands shaking. "I warned you, my sister. I warned you about that woman. She cannot stand to see anyone happy. She has done this to punish you for staying with her." Adogo was too broken to argue. Too exhausted to think. On the 4th day, Somto's eyes fluttered open. "Mama," he whispered. Adogo wept with relief. Her baby was alive. He would survive. But her relief didn't last long. That same night, her room caught fire. Adogo woke to smoke filling her lungs. Heat pressing against her face. The small room she rented was already burning. Orange light danced on the walls. Smoke thick as cloth covered everything. Somto. She grabbed her son from the mat, wrapped him in her wrapper, and ran. The door was already hot. She kicked it open. Flames reached for them like hungry hands. She ran through fire, her feet burning, her eyes blind with smoke. Outside, she collapsed on the ground, coughing, checking Somto's face. He was crying but alive. Alive. Neighbors came running with buckets of water. Too late. Within minutes, everything Adogo owned turned to ash. Their clothes. Their mat. The little money she had saved. Everything. Gone. The next morning, the whole village gathered to stare at the blackened remains. Women shook their heads. Men crossed their arms. Children pointed. Then someone said it. Loud enough for everyone to hear. This is proof. Mama Nneka is a witch. First she poisoned the child, now she tried to burn them alive. The crowd exploded. She must be arrested. Bring her to the chief. That woman has terrorized us for too long. Igo stepped forward, tears streaming down her beautiful face. I saw her, she declared, her voice breaking. I saw Mama Nneka walking near this compound 2 nights ago. I didn't think anything of it then, but now. She covered her mouth with her hand. Now I understand. She did this. The crowd roared with anger. Mama Chisholm tried to speak. Wait. We need evidence. We cannot just accuse someone without. But her voice was drowned by the mob. Within an hour, palace guards arrived. Their heavy boots hit the ground hard. Their spears caught the morning light. They walked straight to the fish section of the market. They found Mama Nneka at her stall, gutting fish like any other day. You will come with us, the guard said. Now. For the first time, Adogo saw something in Mama Nneka's eyes. Fear. The entire village gathered at the palace compound. Fish sellers, farmers, traders, elders. Everyone wanted to see the wicked woman judged. They filled every space, pushing and shoving for a better view. Mama Nneka stood alone before the chief. Her hands were bound with rope. Her face remained blank. But Adogo noticed her fingers trembling slightly. The chief looked tired. Old. Like he had seen too many of these trials. You have been accused of poisoning a child and burning down a home, he said. What do you say? Mama Nneka looked at him with steady eyes. I did nothing. An elder scoffed loudly. Then explain why everyone who works for you runs away. They run because they are weak. Not because I harmed them. Explain why this woman's child fell sick. I did not feed the child anything. I barely spoke to him. Igo stood as the main witness, her voice clear and strong. She has terrorized this market for years. Every helper she hired suffered. Every person who opposed her faced misfortune. And now she has attacked this innocent widow and her child. The evidence is clear. The crowd murmured agreement. The chief raised his hand for silence. He looked at Mama Nneka. Then at Adogo. Then at Igo. His eyes were calculating. This matter has grown beyond ordinary judgment, he said finally. We will consult the oracle. Gasps filled the compound. The chief priest was summoned. An old man with white chalk on his face, cowrie shells around his neck. He carried a clay pot filled with dark liquid that seemed to move on its own. This water comes from the sacred river, he announced, his voice carrying across the compound. It does not lie. Whoever is guilty will fall sick within 3 days. The innocent will remain untouched. One by one, they drank. Mama Nneka drank. Her face showed nothing. Adogo drank. Her hands shook. Then Ego stepped forward, smiling confidently. I have nothing to hide. Let the gods witness my innocence. She drank the entire cup. 3 days. The truth would come in 3 days. 3 days passed. Day 1, the market was quiet. Too quiet. Everyone watched everyone. Traders whispered behind their hands. Customers bought quickly and left. Nobody wanted to miss what would happen. Nothing happened to Mama Nneka. Nothing happened to Adogo. Nothing happened to Ego. Day 2, people began to doubt. Maybe the oracle water didn't work. Maybe the gods are sleeping. Maybe there's no guilty person. Still nothing. Day 3 arrived with heavy clouds. The market felt electric. Like lightning was about to strike. Evening came. The sun was setting. Orange light painted the market stalls. Then it happened. Ego was counting money at her store, laughing with a customer about the weather. Mid-laugh, she stopped. Her hand went to her stomach. Oh, why do I feel hot? The customer asked if she was okay. Ego's eyes went wide. Something is burning inside me. Something is. Oh. She fell from her stool, hitting the ground hard. Her body twisted. Her hands clawed at her stomach. Insects. There are insects eating me from inside. People ran toward her. A crowd formed instantly. Women screamed. Men stepped back in fear. Ego rolled on the ground, foam gathering at the corners of her mouth. Her beautiful face twisted in agony. Her wrapper came loose. Sweat poured from her body like rain. The chief priest appeared, walking slowly through the crowd. He stood over Ego's riding body. Confess, he commanded. The gods are punishing you. Speak the truth or die. Ego screamed. Then the words started pouring out. Like vomit. Like poison leaving her body. I did it. I did everything. Gasped from the crowd. I poisoned Somto. Small doses in the groundnuts I gave him every day. Just enough to make him sick. Just enough to almost kill him. Adogo's legs gave out. Someone caught her before she fell. I set the fire. I waited until midnight. I poured kerosene around her room. I lit the match myself. The crowd was frozen in shock. I started every rumor against Mama Nneka for years. Every girl who worked for her, I threatened them. I told them lies. I made them run away. 15 girls. I chased them all away. Why? The chief demanded. Why? Ego's face twisted with pure hatred. Because Mama Nneka ruined my mother. Silence. 20 years ago, my mother sold fish in this market. She was the best. The most respected. Then Mama Nneka came with her fresh fish and honest prices. She stole all my mother's customers. My mother lost everything. She drank herself to death because of that woman. Ego pointed at Mama Nneka with a shaking finger. I swore on my mother's grave I would destroy her. I turned this whole village against her. I made everyone believe she was wicked. For 20 years, I made her suffer. And it worked. She laughed. A horrible, broken sound. Then this stupid widow came and refused to leave. So I decided to destroy them both. Make it look like Mama Nneka's doing. Kill 2 enemies with 1 lie. The guards dragged her away, still screaming curses. The market stood in stunned silence. Everything they believed was a lie. That night, Adogo found Mama Nneka sitting alone at her store. The market was empty. The moon hung heavy in the sky. May I sit? Adogo asked quietly. Mama Nneka said nothing. But she didn't say no. They sat in silence for a long time. Then Adogo asked, "Why didn't you defend yourself? You knew what Ego was doing, didn't you?" Mama Nneka looked up at the stars. "I knew she hated me. I didn't know she would go this far. But the rumors. For 20 years, you let people call you wicked. Why?" Mama Nneka was quiet. When she spoke, her voice was different. Softer. Broken. "When I first came to this market, I had a daughter. Nneka. That's who I'm named after. She was 14. Beautiful. Kind. My whole world." Tears began rolling down her scarred face. "Ego's mother was my friend. My best friend. We sold fish together. I trusted her completely. I even let her watch Nneka when I traveled to buy fish." Adogo's heart tightened. "One day, I came back early from my trip. I found my daughter in the river. Drowned. They said it was an accident. But I saw marks on her neck. Finger marks. Ego's mother killed my daughter. Because she was jealous. Because I was succeeding and she was failing." Adogo covered her mouth in horror. "I couldn't prove it. But I knew. And when she realized I knew, she spread lies about me. Called me a witch. Turned everyone against me." She touched the scar on her face. "Her brother gave me this when I tried to confront her. He said if I ever spoke again about what I knew, he would finish the job." The silence was heavy with grief. So I stopped talking. Stopped trusting. Stopped smiling. I let them call me wicked because the alternative was death. And when Ego's mother died, I thought it was over. But hatred passes from mother to daughter. Ego continued what her mother started. Adogo reached over and took Mama Nneka's rough hand in hers. "You saved me. You trained me. You protected me. When everyone else rejected me, you gave me a chance. And I believed the lies about you." Mama Nneka squeezed her hand once. "You had no reason to believe otherwise. Will you let me continue working for you?" Mama Nneka almost smiled. "Will you still work for the wicked fish seller?" Adogo laughed through her tears. "I don't see any wicked fish seller here. I only see my mother." For the first time in 20 years, Mama Nneka smiled. Wickedness does not always wear an ugly face. Sometimes it smiles. Sometimes it brings you food and calls you sister. Sometimes it plays with your child while planning to kill him. Do not judge people by their reputation alone. Watch their hands, not their mouth. Because sometimes, the one the world calls wicked is simply the one who refused to hide behind a beautiful mask. Trust what people do, not what they say. The truth always rises. And justice, though slow, never forgets.